Can we please give it up for that amazing first part of the Famous in Love finale and those 5 minutes of PLL? I mean, how awesome. How are y'all doing? I'm Leanne Aguilera from Entertainment Tonight, and I'm so thrilled that you guys came out for this Pretty Little Liars and Famous in Love panel. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm really excited because these ladies that are going to be joining me on stage, yes, they are all kick-ass ladies. Woo, exactly. They all worked simultaneously on the last 10 episodes of Pretty Little Liars and the first 10 of Famous in Love, which was a super chaotic whirlwind. So we're going to be getting the behind-the-scenes secrets of how they balanced AD's murderous twists with Paige Townsend's flirtatious turns. So please give it up for me right now as we welcome the one, the only executive producer of both PLL and Famous in Love, Marlene King. Co-executive producer of both series, Lisa Cochran-Neilan. Freeform's vice president of programming, Jennifer Gerstenblatt. And the gal who makes all the liars and Paige look so damn good, head costume designer Cameron Dale. Hi, ladies. You all look so fantastically fierce. I know, right?
Hi. I feel like before we leave, we have to turn on the lights so we can take pictures of all of you guys and post it on Instagram.
Definitely. Well, first of all, ladies, thank you all so much for coming out right now. Oh, do you not have your mic?
No.
We could.
Oh, she's from Freeform. She needs a mic.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll scoot.
Okay. And I'm scooching over a little bit more too. There we go. Yeah. Freeform, yes, here we go. I can only imagine what an incredibly chaotic time this was for all four of you ladies right now. Kind of just walk us through this process. Marlene, how many months were you working on both series simultaneously?
Oh my gosh, I have to think about that. Lisa?
The physical production of it is not as short as it really takes you to work on both altogether. So I think between the prep of Famous in Love, I would say that there's almost a year that we are committed to wrapping up one show and also launching the other show. So the production days were probably 4 months, 4 months-ish. But I would tell you,
prior to that.
Yeah, but I think that there is a fair amount of on the front side and the back side that has to be credited towards the overall picture.
Now, we're going to get into the specifics of what each of you ladies have done for both of these series, but I was wondering if we can kind of go down the line and in the peak of the chaos, could you give us kind of like a mini rundown of what your day was like as you were trying to get things done for both Pretty Little Liars and Famous in Love? Mar, you want to kick us off?
Well, it was organized chaos,
Okay.
I will say that, in large part because Lisa Cochran, who is our line producer, so the best way to describe that is I will write, A blows up Toby's house. That takes me about 3 seconds to write, and then it'll take Lisa about 3 weeks to figure out how we do that. But so she keeps us on the right track. But I think that a typical day, I remember one specific day, I was leaving a table read of PLL, running to the set of Famous in Love, which also shoots at Warner Brothers. And later, and Chad Lowe was directing the episode, and he posted this picture of me, like all by myself, walking past this big stage, and it just summed up so much of how I felt in that moment. It was just, you're a part of something so big, but like you're torn between two worlds. So it was kind of lonely at times, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. It was a really unique emotional journey.
Yeah. Well, and Lisa, you're so in the day-to-day thick of it. One series took place about the cutthroat world of the industry. Another one was just cutthroat. Did you ever feel like you needed like a break before you could jump from one to the other?
There actually, now, and Cam is here, there were many of those times, but more importantly, there was a condensed group of people that were really committed to doing both series. One is to properly putting the one that we had been with for 7 seasons to bed properly and with the right attitude and the right commitment to it. The other one was being able to launch something that we wanted to segue into, and we wanted to make sure we had as much passion to it. But that being said, there were times when you would sit there and we would organize our schedules, and you'd go from costume meetings from one series to a costume meeting of the other. And I do remember one time in particular, I came back from stage, ran into my office, there's the costume department, and I remember looking at Cameron, who did both shows, and saying, which one is this? And those are the moments where you sit there and you realize that you're all in it together. And it could have been either one of the shows. We got to which one it was very quickly, and we moved through it.
I think that was probably, though, for the course of those 4 months, the most popular asked question was, which show is it? Like, we would say that all the time.
Jen, is that something that you felt like you were doing from the networking side of things?
Oh yeah, everyone jokes that I've had PLL brain for 7 years, and you guys have it way more than I do. But yeah, it was really hard just going back and forth and knowing what stage you were at on each show, because they were at kind of different stages. But it was really, and it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for this group at all. They're the most organized because they're a family, and it just really works together. But it was so much fun because it was this group. The chaos just became funny. We just made each other laugh throughout the whole thing, between like fittings for the new show and making sure the old show was appropriately adjusting forward, and everything, the hires, everything was just crazy, but we just kept laughing, even on our side.
Cameron, I'm just imagining you surrounded by like an explosion of really cute clothes for that for that year.
Yes, there's a lot of cute clothes. I mean, both shows are so different, but I think both have great different sort of fashion. So that was really fun. And yeah, it was super hectic for us. A golf cart was super important during this time. Keeping that golf cart charged, it died on us so many times.
Forget about getting steps in or walking.
Right?
It was like,
yeah,
you're in
it
the
was
golf cart.
Yeah, we were like racing back and forth and then, my costume crews, a couple of us doubled up on both shows, but really they were so important. It was like they really kept it together for me also.
In addition to myself and Lisa and Jen and Cameron, there were a lot of the department heads from Pretty Little Liars who worked on the Famous in Love pilot and then switched over for the first 10 episodes, or at least the first 8, because they wanted to go back to PLL for the ending, which they, of course, deserve to do. But that really helped, too. And it was kind of the same for all of us. We felt like we were split personalities almost. Like you really wanted to give 100% to the last 10 of PLL, but you need to give 100% to FIL, too. So I don't think we slept much.
No.
That was actually part of the fun of it, I thought, from our side, because you guys really took a chance and gave some of the people that had been there a while the chance to move people like Cameron over, but the people on your crew got to stay on PLL and really dig in and step up and get to do the job. And you did that in multiple departments.
A lot of number
really
2s
fun.
became number 1s.
Yeah,
on
it was
PLL.
fun to just watch it and to know that you were part of the family and you watched them grow. That was a really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I want everyone to understand that there's so many more people behind both of those shows than those of us that are here, and without them, we wouldn't be here. But we did. When we knew we were going to be doing this show, we got everyone together, and we literally had sort of like a family meeting where you just say, this is going to happen. We are going to do 10 more episodes of a brand new show. If you were here for the first 10 of PLL, you remember what those first 10 are like. And at that point, if you're interested in wanting to move over and help that one, let us know. We'll try to work things out. And the amazing part, this is what tells you what the family is like, is that the hands went up. And it was the art department and the prop department and the effects department. And this is the group of people that said, no, if this is the next chapter, we want to be a part of it. So the studio had their doubts. I think other people
They're
said
not here, so we can say that.
Yeah. I think they just said,
The network never had their doubts.
if you believe that you guys can do this, we're with you. And I have to tell you, it was a crazy but a fabulous experience.
I love that. Well, Jen, I'm curious to know, as Freeform's VP of Programming, obviously Pretty Little Liars has been a massive hit. How has that shaped what you guys now look for in a new show, as you know that this one is coming to a close?
I mean, we're always looking for a massive hit. We took a really big risk with PLL, and we were so excited to do it, but it was rough to kind of go there because we were an ABC family at that point. And it was an interesting time where we were trying to figure out what our next step was and how to push it. And I think when PLL was a hit, it gave us sort of the confidence, even back at ABC Family, to really know that we can do something different. And you have to have the right crew together to just do it with you, and to know sometimes you can take 3 steps forward, sometimes you can only take a half a step forward. And I think on all our new shows since then, like the Bold Type is a huge step for us. That really fits perfectly on our network, and it is different, but it's still about a core friendship. Alone Together is about, our shows are very good when they're about friendship, and I think we look for the core that's in everything, and then we kind of push when we can. It's Freeform. We do it a lot.
And I love that you mentioned trying different things, because what you guys did with Freeform was different, was you allowed fans to be able to binge the show, the whole first season, all at once if they wanted to. So they could follow more on a week-by-week basis, or they could binge the entire series. What did you feel were the pros of that choice, and are you happy that you guys did that?
It was definitely an experiment for us, because on Pretty Little Liars we're still destination TV, and we love that. We love that on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock we can get on Twitter or Instagram or Insta Stories and have this giant party worldwide, not just in the United States but worldwide. So it was interesting to see sort of collectively a very different experience on Famous, although I'm finding that more and more people who have binged or are catching up binging are starting to watch it live with us, because we're doing a lot of social media. So, I mean, we were nervous about it, but it's exciting because a lot of people have already seen the show.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys prefer? I mean, you could ask them.
You're right. Binge?
Okay,
or live?
Okay, here we go. All
Or
right.
live.
If you're a fan of binging now, give a cheer. All right, and if you like the week-to-week of it all, give a cheer. It's about half and half.
It's kind of even.
Let's switch gears a little bit to one of my favorite topics when it comes to TV, the clothes. Cameron, you came into Pretty Little Liars at such a unique time in the series, because you guys, if you're not familiar, Cameron came in right before the girls went on their 5-year time jump, so she really helped evolve that forward. What was it like for you to kind of start there as your jumping off point and really kind of evolve these girls' looks?
Yeah, well, speaking of binging, I binged a lot right before. But I was a fan before, but I really needed it fresh in my memory. So I binged a lot, and I really wanted to honor the characters that Mandy Line had started and created, and also evolve them and create sort of my own stamp. And also the girls have a big say in it too, which was really fun to talk to Troy and Lucy and all the girls just about where their characters have been. And really the most important thing I did when I came on was sit down with Marlene, and she told me about what the girls had been doing the last 5 years. And so that really dictated the direction I went with their looks.
It was really, I mean, you had a huge undertaking, because that 5-year time jump put us almost like in a second pilot. Yeah. So we had as extensive of conversations as we had with Mandy before we shot the pilot.
Yeah, really started like it was a pilot, really. Yeah, and then Famous in Love, we did that too.
Well, I was going to say, and then on the flip side, to be starting a brand new series like Famous in Love, how did you approach that, and did you have in mind that you wanted to keep distinct looks from PLL to FIL?
Yeah, I mean, they're such wildly different shows, so I think just by reading the scripts really dictated that. I mean, always for me, it starts with getting the script, and then I read through that, and the characters evolve through there. Like Cassie's, it was a fun kind of hipster vibe, and you think of her going on La Brea and searching through these thrift stores, and then you think of Paige as a more academic from maybe like the Pacific Northwest, and you kind of go from there. So that was really fun. Like as soon as I would get tired of like amazing denim and biker jackets on PLL, I could hop over to Famous and do ball gowns and fun California kind of colorful fashion. So it was so fun for me because I got the best of all the worlds.
Now, for Marlene and Lisa, when you guys were first having those initial conversations for Famous in Love with Cameron, what was your vision? What did you have in mind that then she kind of took and ran with it?
Well, it's Cameron sort of starts the process with her sort of vision boards or her vibe board. So we get on the same page as in terms of like who a character is, and talk about their backstory a lot. Where are they from? What do their parents do? How much money do they have? How much money can they spend on clothes? And then there's an element to Famous in Love that I think is very similar to Pretty Little Liars in the sense that these are relatable characters. You know, we know a Paige Townsend, we know a Jake, we know a Cassie, and they don't get to shop at at Barney's and spend $10,000 on an outfit. But Cameron gets to play in this world now where Paige dresses up for her character, and there's so much glamour and gorgeousness to it.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Yeah, and I think kind of what I really liked about Famous in Love too is, I don't know about you guys, but on my weekends it's like sweats and Uggs and cute T-shirts, and there's a lot of that in the show. I think it's really real. Like they're college kids and they're hanging around their apartment, so that was kind of another fun aspect.
I don't know if you've noticed it or not if you're watching Famous in Love, but Cameron doesn't spend nearly as much money on boys' shirts as girls' tops.
This is true. Guilty.
It's a lot of shirtless boys.
I mean, I ain't complaining.
Do you guys like that? Is that working?
Jen, from a network side, are there any fashion do's or don'ts that Freeform has?
No. I think we learned a lot in the first seasons with the Aria wardrobe alone. That we were like, what's happening? I think my favorite was the 2 different pattern leggings. I'll never forget that one.
Or the
feather
fork
earrings.
and the spoon
Yeah, I know,
earrings.
yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you miss it. There's a really cool dress that Spencer's wearing in the finale that you'll see, and you have to look really closely to see this detail that you're like, oh, wow.
I love that. I love that
Yeah,
dress.
it's real. Just watch for it. It's cool. But no, we kind of just go with it, especially if we're on the same page, because we see the look boards at the very beginning. Once they approve them all, they come to the studio, and then they make their way to us, and we either comment, change, we get anything different, and then we start seeing them as they come in episodically, and as soon as we're like, yep, you got it, just go, it's really easy, and it's just really fun. It's more just fun for us. But we're involved in the beginning more because we like it.
I still can't believe that PLL is coming to a close. And so that's why I want to have a conversation with you guys, I know. Were there any talks to prolong Pretty Little Liars even past the established 7 seasons?
No.
Really?
No, I feel it really felt, we knew in season 5 that 7 would be our last season, and it was a really fantastic mutual decision that we all made. The studio, the network, myself, the actors, we all felt like this was, we first of all, we were blessed and lucky enough to know when our ending was going to be, and a lot of shows don't get that. So as a creator and a storyteller, that was amazing. So we didn't want to push it past, and as my mom always say, you never want to be the last person to leave the party. You know, leave the party when people are still excited to be there.
Are there any potential conversations about any PLL spinoffs?
I guess so.
I'm going to text Janelle and tell her you said that.
That sounds fun.
That was subtle.
But so is that something that you guys have entertained the thought of at all?
I love this world. I love playing in this world. I'm open to a lot of things, but as of right now, it's just sort of, random ideas.
Well, I'm already so fixated on Famous in Love. If you guys haven't seen the second part of that finale, it's so good, and I need to know what happens next. Can we please have a season 2 status update?
Jen?
Here.
No way.
Jen.
We know the close.
We love it too. We love seeing if it's binging, if it's not. We love all of it, and we're really trying and talking, and we're trying. We are.
We're excited about it.
We
Do
love
you guys
it.
want to see season 2?
Yeah.
I
I'll
almost
go
gave
tell
away
them.
a spoiler from next week's episode. I'm glad I didn't. I was going to do you want to know who blank?
No.
Oh.
I know what it is.
Blank, blank. Yeah, no.
But, yeah, if you've binged it, you know it as well. We're going to start opening up to you guys. If you have any fan questions, I'm not sure how we're getting mics to you, or if you just be loud. Does anyone have? Okay, yeah, right there in the middle. Hi.
Hi, I know that Rebecca Searle's an executive producer on Famous in Love, but the show's diverged a little from the books. I'm wondering how much the source material is going to inform future episodes.
We do. The characters in the books are much younger than in the show, so that really changed a lot right off the bat. And I think, not unlike Pretty Little Liars, we stayed true to the characters, but we're going to find our own way story-wise.
any more out there? Yeah, right here.
Hi, I was wondering, what is the possibility of multiple weddings in the finale? Also, will Spencer and Toby be getting back together?
So I just want to let you guys know that my final question for Marlene, and we're not there yet, but it was going to be, can you share something with this room about the PLL final 3 episodes that you have not told anyone else?
And the answer is, we've always said there's going to be at least one wedding, but I can promise you that in the next 3 episodes, there will be 2 more weddings on the show.
Da-dum-da-dum, da-dum-da-dum. Wait, she's on
Which
a roll.
gave
Keep
Cameron a
asking.
lot to do.
So fun.
Cameron, what was that like for you to be able to kind of step into that wedding world of it all?
Scary. It's so secret. I was like trying to talk to designers, and I was like, I can't say anything. It's like I'm just always so scared to reveal something I shouldn't.
You need to dress in every size.
Yeah. Yeah, very different. Yeah, it was very, very, very different. And it's so fun.
Which actresses were involved in those meetings?
All of them, probably. Actually, all of them.
I'm trying, y'all.
Some wore bridesmaids' dresses.
Oh, okay.
And they all had opinions.
Yeah, try dressing.
That's Cameron's hardest part.
It's tough. Yeah, that was tough.
Well, I was going to say, what has it been like for you guys balancing a series that has 5 to 6 really opinionated ladies versus Famous in Love, which has like a more of a mixed cast?
Well, first of all, the girls are amazing. They're fantastic, and I think that in the beginning they wore what we told them to wear. But by season 2 and 3, they knew their characters as well as we did, so they started to have some input in it. And I think I'll tell you a funny story about Shay, because everyone knows she's like the girliest girl ever on the planet Earth. And Emily was a bit of a tomboy. And so in the finale, I don't know your experience is, Cameron, but like mine was like, she's like, I'm not wearing that. Like, it's the last episode, I'm wearing that. And it's like, I'm not wearing those pajama bottoms. I'm only wearing the pajama top.
Yeah, it was a struggle. But I mean, yeah, she was finally, by the end, she was like so over it. And everyone always asks me, like, what are you? I'm like, I'm totally an Emily. Like, I would be stoked with her wardrobe, like jeans, boots, jackets, but she was just not. But she's such a glamazon.
But she looks amazing. So when you see the finale, you'll see the slight shift in Emily's wardrobe, a little bit more towards Shay.
Yeah, she has some glam moments.
I mean, motherhood will do that to you sometimes.
And I think you also need to understand that that's a long time that went by. So when we started, 3 of them were minors, in all disclosure. So 3 of them were very young, and they grew up. 7 seasons is an amazing amount of time when you're in your 20s, or you're not even 20 yet, to watch that. Number one, yes, they get to know their characters, and they grow through that, and then they love the storylines, and then they start camping out in your office wanting to know what's happening next or what's going to happen, or they start saying, what am I going to wear? So yes, they all evolved through it all, but they were young ladies in the beginning, and then they were amazing, and they got better and better. And I think we have friendships now. They're not coworkers to us. I think they really, truly are friends of ours. We still text back and forth. The other day I was in a meeting on a different show, and I will tell you, FaceTime came in from Shay Mitchell. And I'm sitting there, and I kept hitting decline. And it kept coming back, and she's texting me, and I'm like, Shay, I can't do this.
They're really good with the Famous in Love cast, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
They're
had a
really,
fantastic.
really great with
Sorry, you want to tell?
No, they're like
We,
parents.
we
to
were
them.
in New
It's
York
really great.
launching the premiere of Famous in Love, while also showing the premiere of the last season of Pretty Little Liars. And I was together with the girls doing a live Twitter social media thing, and then the FIL cast came in, and the girls were supposed to leave and go to dinner, and they're like, you know what, we want to stay and watch the show and just tweet with you guys and get to know your cast. So it was really special.
That's so sweet. I love
It was
that.
kind
made
of
me
the
cry.
passing
It
of the
literally made me
torch.
cry.
It really was.
At the upfronts, they were sitting there at the top. We put all of our talent at the top to watch everything at our New York upfronts for advertisers. And they were sitting there, and they were like the adults at the top all of a sudden. And they were dressed very differently than they have been in the past. And they were looking around, and I'm like, you guys okay? And they're like, this is the new generation. We're good.
But this,
Good.
I'll tell
They're
you a
like
great story.
very-
Perry Reeves, who plays Raynor's mom, plays Nina Devon. She brought her mom to that, and they came Nina Devon. She brought her mom to that, and they came like 20 minutes early. So they watched the last 20 minutes of the PLL episode, and her mom thought that was Famous in Love premiere, and she goes, "This is the most confusing premiere."
We've got time for a couple more audience questions right here. Hi.
Yes, I am a PLL fanatic as well. I'm excited to see season 2, Famous in Love. But I'm also curious to know, what are your future projects? Because I'm addicted to Marlene King and all that.
Oh, you're so sweet.
That's a good thing to be addicted to.
You're very kind. Well, I am right now for Freeform adapting another book that Sarah Shepard wrote called The Perfectionists. And I have a great company at Warner Brothers now called Long Lake Media, and we're developing a lot of shows for a lot of different networks, and we're really excited to share them with you as they get a little closer to getting made. And thank you.
And then we had one right here. Hi.
Okay, so since it's been exactly 7 years since the pilot aired,
Yes, happy anniversary, Pretty Little Liars. Happy birthday.
I was wondering if there's any one particular moment or learning experience that really stands out for you from the entire journey.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone can take this.
You know, I would love to repeat something that I thought about an hour ago, and I said it about an hour ago, and that is that I hope you guys understand. In the finale, it's business as usual. We're scheduling it, but these ladies that you've grown to love, they came to us and they asked us if the last scene of the last day of the last episode, if they could all be in the last shot.
Don't cry.
I know.
She's gonna cry.
And I will tell you,
It's not the last shot of the episode, but it's
No.
the last
it,
shot
in our
we filmed.
shooting schedule.
Might be a wedding.
It was the last shot, and so we looked at the board, and Marlene was directing it, by the way, and it's a 2 hours. So we looked at this board, and we thought, what is that scene that you want to do last? And we came to the conclusion of what was the best thing, and it will be my favorite moment because everybody was there. It was very late, I will say, or shall I say early, in terms of time, but I will tell you that there was a sincere feeling of closure at that moment, and everybody was there. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. That's all I can tell you. But that came from the ladies, and I want to tell you that that's important for everyone to know, that was important for them to end that way as a group.
And you're absolutely right. And building on that, I feel like that for me was what I learned is that you can work really hard on something that you believe in and you're passionate about, and at the same time really enjoy it if you're open to building relationships and building a family and leaning on each other and relying on each other. I mean, we did something, this is my first TV show, so it's all I know, but I hear from other people, Cameron was saying it earlier, it's not usually like this. And we built something very special, and you guys are all a part of it, and I say it from the bottom of my heart, we are a family, and you're a big part of it, and that's something we'll take with us forever. The show won't air after 3 more episodes, but we'll always have this, all of us.
Cameron and Jen, did you guys have anything to add before I grill Lisa on something?
No, because I'll cry.
Lisa, can you tell us, obviously not what the scene is, but if it'll appear in the first hour or the second hour of the 2-hour finale so that we know when to look out for it? Because I want to see if I can see that emotion in their faces.
It's the second hour, right?
The top of the second.
All right. Oh, we just had to have a consensus. Yeah, it's in the second hour. Okay, it's
The top of the second hour.
Top of the second hour of the finale, and I don't think that we even did more than 1 or 2 takes of it.
They couldn't.
We couldn't.
There was no way to do more
The girls were
than that.
losing it, the guys were losing it, everyone
There's
was
2
losing
scenes
it.
where you can see them really saying goodbye to each other,
Yeah.
and it's you'll see it.
Because also,
clearly.
if you listen
Yeah.
to the dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
Because the dialogue is written as a closure, and I feel like it's Marlene letting the characters say goodbye. And you just listen to the dialogue in some of those group scenes, and I think you'll know exactly what's being said right there.
Oh my goodness gracious. Do we have any other fan questions out there? Right, hi, right here.
So, throughout the series, a lot of people die.
What?
But they come back.
Something that you regret killing off that maybe you could have taken that further? You know, it's always hard to kill somebody. It's never easy.
It wasn't always.
And I'm the person who makes the call. Like, you know, like at the time my assistant was Kyle, and he'd be like, "Oh, Mars on the phone," and they're like, "Oh no." and you know, so because you don't want them to find out at the table read that they're gonna die. But you know, I can't say that I make any regrets. I know fans were really upset about. I think it hit me when I realized fans were so upset about Maya's death. I know. But for the sometimes you just have to sort of. There's a famous quote by J.K. Rowling, and I forget what it was, but it's like it was good. It's great. But it made me feel better. It's like, look it up. It made me feel better. But you know, a lot of people who die.
Someone Google that right now. What does it have to do with?
It has to do with why you have to kill characters sometimes, and why you shouldn't feel bad about it as a writer. But I think in Rosewood, a lot of people come back even though they're dead, and that's how I always preface it.
I mean, I used to laugh because series regulars were dead people on our show. So if somebody was scheduled to die, it was kind of like, okay.
But one of the funnest, I had to call Andrea Parker and tell her that Miss Jessica De Laurentiis was dying. And I said, but you have a unique twist coming up, so stay tuned. I said, you're not coming back as a ghost. And she was like,
Yeah, I would never get rid of any wardrobe. It's like keep everything pristine, perfect, with labeled scene number because you never know. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot. Yeah. Exactly.
Chanel came back from the dead.
So did Allie.
yes, she did. Isn't she the best, Janelle? They're all so good. I love Janelle. She was great in last week's episode in that the song and dance. She just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. And we had a question in the middle, unless it got answered. Anybody?
Cameron, what other shows have you worked on in the past?
Heart of Dixie.
Yeah, Heart of Dixie. Yeah, we were actually right down the hallway from Pretty Little Liars, and a lot of the same set. I mean, we were at Warner Brothers, so yeah, the outside, kind of the town square, and so you'll definitely see some similarities. But I'd always look longingly down at all the fun. It was so wildly different. I mean, we were in a world of like floral dresses and versus like all the punk rock and the crazy jewelry, and yeah, so just down the hall.
But is it fun for you to be able to, because obviously Pretty Little Liars had their masquerades, their homecomings, their proms, but was it fun for you, now you have like the gowns, all the Hollywood outfits, what's that like?
Totally, I mean, that's so fun to kind of dive into that super glam world, and it's so different, and all the fun jewelry and handbags and accessories, but I do love my sleuthing looks. They're fun. Yeah. No, I swear. Okay, Sasha always wants high heels, so she always got them. But I tried to keep the girls in low because they're like running through the forest and yeah.
But they learned. I mean, that was
They're
like
so good. And like little Lucy can walk in like stilts. I mean, they're so good. I don't know how they all do it. They can run marathons in heels. Those girls.
Cameron, has the A hoodie changed in this last season?
Oh,
No.
no.
I inherited that hoodie, and I did not. Oh no, not personally.
trivia is
I wish I had it.
But we make the hoodie bigger to
Yeah,
hide
so
the face.
We basically cut it. We had to make more. We cut and paste hoodies together, so we have
So
this
it comes
giant
forward.
industrial hoodie that we cut onto a cute hoodie from like American Apparel or wherever it was. A lot more goes into it than you think.
We have time for just a few more fan questions if y'all have any left. Hi, right here.
Great question. From season 1 of Real Liars,
Whoa.
He said Allison was pregnant, but the dead person they found was not Allison. So did Allison actually have a baby that we don't know about?
No. No.
But I love that.
She's having a baby
lineage.
now.
That's PLL brain.
Oh,
That does make you think a lot. And I mean, and actually, after the finale airs, I hope we get to do a lot more Q&As because I'm more tight-lipped now than I normally am because I don't want to screw anything up in these last 3 episodes. It's like you can't even be cagey anymore because there's so much writing on these last 3 episodes and secrets that are revealed and backstories that you find out about. So I no for now.
All right, any last minute questions before I button it up? Hi.
Kind of rolling off of that, because it always makes me curious, does it give you like some sort of like a fun tingle when you see people's fan theories and everything else, and you get to hear like squash them and be like, oh, you're
I try not to squash them.
Yeah.
No, I
Yes.
when people there, I think we really tried in this AD go round to drop enough Easter eggs in there that the answer wouldn't be random. That I have seen multiple people online with the correct theories. There are several very popular theories right now, and I'd say I hope that we've done our job well enough that you'll be surprised by the ending, but it's not going to be like, oh, what? It's like, oh.
But it's the active dialogue between all the Twitter fans that are debating and confirming each other, or debating each other, or arguing over certain things and elements. It's, for us, I think it's fascinating. It's fascinating that you actually can go back to season 1 and you can put this together.
And the diagrams that people do are like, I love the diagrams.
It's
They're my
super
favorite.
helpful.
Well,
Found it helpful a
that's
lot.
what I was gonna say. Jen and Cameron, when did you guys learn the identity of AD? When did they tell you? Have you known for a while?
No, I knew. No, I knew late. I think pretty late, and I'm glad I did because I don't want to know.
We kept it
Yeah,
a secret for as
yeah,
long
they
as
kept
possible.
it pretty tight-lipped, and I wasn't prying. Some things I'll pry about, but I wasn't prying about that. The less I know, the better.
I knew elements, but that's it.
Yeah.
You had told me the Charlotte thing before, like way before, so I had to keep that. And I knew where you were going with the ending, but I didn't know the ending because you wouldn't tell us. Sometimes she tells us, sometimes she doesn't, and we're just along for the ride, and it's really fun the same way it is for you guys.
Well, we have to, unfortunately, bring this to a close. But I want to thank you all so much for coming in right now. And my last question to all you lovely ladies right now is just, what is the one thing that you really hope that fans are going to take away when they tune into both Pretty Little Liars and Famous in Love?
Well, for me, Pretty Little Liars has always been about the unconditional friendship that these girls have. There's so much other fun stuff, but if you're building an ice cream sundae, I always say with the show, I use the analogy, the ice cream is the relationship those girls have with each other, and you can't have the show without it. And I think in this world where we need kindness, we need love, we need to help each other realize what it means to support each other. The fact that those girls have always had each other's back is, I hope, the legacy that this show carries on.
Well, that's amazing. Does anyone have anything to add?
I mean, the only thing I would say is that I felt like it wasn't never meant to be overanalyzed. It was entertainment. It was, to me, it was entertainment. It was go in the moment, enjoy it, be shocked, love it, cheer it. I love the fact that every week there would be this new wave of excitement, and then want to guess where that was going with something, and that's where I think that was different in television.
That's a surprise. I feel like too. I think we always thought we had something special, but I didn't think we were creating a generation of sleuthers.
And you'll get answers and have a lot of fun. Like a lot. It's very fun, especially if you've watched and remember those details. It's like I was watching and you have a checklist and you're making sure you're getting the answers, but it's so fun, and Famous is popcorn fun, and you can just sit back and laugh like you guys were.
Yeah, you don't
and
need
enjoy the
any
whole
flow
thing.
charts for Famous.
Except for the relationships. But before we go, we have one more special Freeform sneak peek for you guys. The new dramedy, The Bold Type, which I'm super excited about, is going to be here at ATX in this very theater on Saturday at 12:15. They have an amazing moderator. It's me. And we have a special sizzle reel that we want to show you guys right now, and it's could be your next Freeform obsession, so get excited.
It's super fun.
Do we have to leave the stage for it to play?
You don't want to see it over our heads.
Okay, thanks guys so much.
Thank you so much.